Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch has said that abolishing income tax bans and introducing a flat rate for everyone is an attractive idea. Now, currently there are 3 different rates of income tax in the UK, which increase based on how much you earn. But a number of countries, including Russia, Hungary and Romania, impose just a flat rate. Campaigners against flat rates say that they lead to the less well-off paying more in tax, while the higher earners pay less. So, Mike, why do you support the idea?
Well, I think it's got so many advantages. First of all, if everybody pays the same tax, there's no tax envy. We pay far too many taxes in this country anyway. The tax rate is too high. And I don't mind paying my taxes. What I mind is giving it to politicians who waste so much of it. You know, the welfare system
You're still going to do that in a flat rate?
Sorry?
You're still going to be doing that in a flat rate?
No, but you're not going to have as much money to waste. That's the point I'm making. Now, the reason I like the flat rate is people say, oh, well, the wealthy should pay more tax than those who earn less. Well, hang on. If you earn £1 million and you pay a flat rate tax of 22%, you pay $220,000 in tax. If you're only earning $20,000, you pay hardly anything. It's a very fair tax, and it stops people from A, trying to evade paying tax, which is completely honest, and B, it stops people leaving the country. People are flooding out of this country now because tax rates are far too high. If they said, look, we're going to rebuild the tax system, you all pay the same, people would flood back. They flood back, buoyant economy, booming country, and we're on the road to success.
This flat rate tax only makes sense, JJ. This only benefits people like you who are filthy rich. That's who it benefits. It doesn't benefit the working man. What ends up happening, you can say your mathematics of, well, they're still paying. If you're a millionaire, you're still going to pay. Yes, but they're paying less than they're currently paying. No. It's the low earners. It's the low earners end up paying more. The richest people end up getting more cash back for themselves. That's not OK. And also, when you say about it's going to bring people back into the country, the super rich in this country, the top 1%, they're not getting paid salaries. They're already cutting taxes by paying themselves in dividends.
They're global anyway. They're global. They can go anywhere they want. OK, so the people at the top who pay the flat rate tax, you say they get more money back themselves. What do you think they do with that money? They put it into businesses. They put it into their savings. They put it into businesses. They put it into investments. It stimulates the economy.
The working class who stimulate the economy.
And therefore,
when the lower class have money, we spend it in shops. That's what happens. When the rich have money, they put it back into their savings.
When the lower class are in a tax system like that, the amount they're getting paid goes up. There is more money to pay people.
And less going to tax. All the lost money. Where's it going to come from? The loss in money that we're going to have for the whole country.
There won't be any loss.
I just want to take a look.
Public services will be cut.
No, I want to take a little look at what we're paying now. So here's our tax bands. Now, it's slightly different in Scotland, but this, for the majority of us, is what we are probably looking at. So personal allowance, anything up to 12,570, you're paying nothing. Then you've got your basic rate, 20% up to about 50,000. Higher rate than that, 40% up to 125,000. And then anything over that, you're looking at 45%.
Outrageous.
If we are looking at a flat rate, and we look at the countries that are using a flat rate, if we take the median of them, I think they're probably going to be somewhere around the 20-25%. However, you do get the odd area, Russia, Hungary and Romania all being under 20%.
Yes.
That would benefit the poorest in society, would it not?
It would benefit the poorest, but as we look at the situation right now, it's those who are just about managing each month who always seem to be the sufferers. The ones who are just a little bit lower than the middle class, who are just making ends meet each month, we're the ones who are going to be suffering the most. And I'm not being funny. I'm not looking to Russia, Hungary, Estonia, Romania as countries that are prosperous with their taxes. Those aren't great countries.
No, they're booming countries. Estonia...
They're booming. Do me a favour.
Hang on. Estonia has 20% flat tax rate, OK? Also, the first €6,000 you earn in Estonia, you don't pay any tax at all. So the
tax 6,000.
6,000. Oh, wonderful! That's great.
But hang on. Their mean average income is only just about 21,000 or something like that.
Yeah, so how can we compare that to the UK?
No. But look, what I'm saying is, you have seen this time and time again. When you bring taxes down, the tax take goes up, and when you put taxes up, the tax take goes down because people avoid it.
All right, let's go to our calls. Naresh from London, what do you think about a flat rate? Do you think it would work?
I think a flat rate of tax would make life simpler for everybody. The tax system is highly complicated. So many people get exemptions for buying certain goods or investing certain goods. We've made the tax system so complicated that the cost of the benefit of that higher tax rate is totally eaten up, and if not more, by the cost of collecting the tax. You make the tax rate simple, easy to calculate, and you incentivize people to work. Exactly. And that's the key thing. If we talk about growth, how do you get growth? You've got to incentivize people to grow the economy.
I do wonder, though, Naresh, whether actually an unintended consequence of a flat rate tax could be a widening gap between the wealthy and the poor. If you're taxing them both the same percentage, we know money makes money. The rich are going to end up richer, and the poor, therefore, by default, will end up poorer, even if they do have that ambition and it drives that sort of work.
Simple question. What would you rather have? 80% of very little or 10% of a hell of a lot? And that's the simplicity of the equation. There's something in economics, we talk about this term called the Laffer curve, where you come to a tipping point where people are disincentivized to work and therefore stop working.
I'm not arguing about your
situation.
I'm not arguing with your maths, Naresh. I'm just saying the unintended consequences of this could be that the wealthier get wealthier because the money they're saving, that they're not having to pay that 45% tax, they're investing in other properties, they're investing in other businesses, they are making more money, which they are only paying the 20% tax on. Whereas those that are on the breadline, that are literally just paying their bills, just scraping by, will continue to pay that 20%, not be able to invest in anything and not be able to make anything out of it. So the gap could widen.
The solution to that is really simple. Don't lower the benchmark. You can either take people down so everybody is worse off, or you create the incentives for people to feel better off.
Okay, and what would those incentives look like? What do you mean?
The incentives would be that people will be able to keep their money and will be able to invest. To say that people, and I'm sorry, I disagree with, I can't remember the person, that people just stick it in a savings account and just watch their money grow. That's nonsense. The vast majority of entrepreneurs want to invest and want to grow the economy. And that's what we want.
Naresh, you're confusing two things there. You're saying entrepreneurs, I'm talking about millionaires. Not every entrepreneur is a millionaire. It's been proven, facts already, that the very richest in our culture reinvest their money and save their money when they are making profit. They do not go out and spend as much as the working class, who literally have to spend their money because they need to survive. If the working class had bucket loads of money, they would also be investing in themselves, investing in buildings, investing in properties, but they don't. The money they get in, they get a bit of extra cash, it's let me get a bit more extra food, let me get a bit of higher quality food. That's already been proven. And if we had this flat rate of tax, as Dawn has said to you repeatedly, it's just going to widen this gap further. No, the poor will stay where they are and the rich will get richer. Billionaires and paupers do not go together.
No, I don't agree with that, because I agree with Naresh. Most people who go out to earn a lot of money usually have a purpose for it. They buy businesses, they start businesses, they invest in projects.
They're wealth creators. You think it will create more wealth?
Yeah.
Naresh, thank you very much for your call. Thomas from Merseyside, what's your view?
Well, I don't agree with that guy who's talking, but having said that, I'm a pensioner.
There was lots of guys talking at that point, Thomas, I can assure you, but carry on, what's your point?
And if I pay the same amount as my son who's in megabucks in London, well, how is that fair?
Well, Thomas, I suppose the fairness is in the fact that he may be earning a lot more than you, but he's still paying the same percentage in tax, which means he is going to be contributing a lot more than you. I've just had
my winter fuel allowance taken away, and I'm just on the borderline, so I will pay more, and he'll pay less.
No, you would be both paying the same percentage. Your son would pay more tax than you would physically. If we're talking numerically speaking, he would pay more pounds into the government's coffers than you would. If you were putting the winter fuel payment in there, that complicates it slightly.
I didn't really want to bring that out, but yes.
No, but clearly you feel hard done by the government, and you think that if this came in, it would just leave you even worse off?
Yes.
Okay. And is there any sort of warmth in your heart to the idea that it could bring in more wealth, that wealthier people that may have their...
just leaving it the way it is.
Well, I'll tell you why, Thomas, if you don't mind me commenting on that. A recent report showed that if you take advantage of the welfare system in this country, you can now take home more money each month than you can working. for the average wage. Welfare now trumps the average wage. A society like that, Thomas, can only go south, and then we're all poorer.
But hold on that point then, Mike, that would only exasperate the issue if you're going to do a flat rate higher than 20%, because if you increase the percentage you're going to take away from people when they start working, they're going to be less inclined to work and more inclined to be on benefits. So it's a point against your argument.
No, it's not a point going on. What I'm saying is stimulating the economy, growth in the economy, providing jobs for people and not condemning them to live on welfare, right, for the rest of their lives. And the welfare money comes from the 45% taxpayers, of which there are nearly 1 million in this country, supporting and subsidising the rest of us.
Okay, Thomas, thank you very much for your call. Mary from West Sussex, what's your view on this?
Well, I'm not very good at speaking, but I think it's absolutely fair that we all pay the same amount of tax, whether you're rich or poor. If you're poor, you don't hardly pay any tax or no tax. If you're rich, then you pay. My two sons, I have one that works in London who earns quite a good wage, and he pays a lot of tax. The other one, he's not a very good job, and he pays a lot less. Well, isn't that fair? Shouldn't we all pay the same? Absolutely, I agree. We should all pay the same
percentage. But do you agree? Would you agree with the statement? Money tends to make money in this country. If you have money, it's easier for you to make more money than someone that started off with very little.
No, if you work hard, you earn hard, you deserve to earn.
Okay,
yes, I'm sorry. No,
to keep your money.
should all pay the same.
Mary, thank you very much for your call. Valerie from Suffolk, what's your view on this one?
Oh, well, first of all, I can't believe you're even discussing this because it's an absolutely shocking idea.
Yes, Valerie.
But the reason I called in was because once again we heard the argument that millionaires are leaving this country in droves.
Yeah.
Now, to me, whether that's true or not, I doubt it as much as that, but I don't doubt some have left. But that, to me, is sheer blackmail on the rest of us. When workers go on strike, they're blackmailing us, they're holding the country to ransom. Yeah. But when these guys leave, oh, that's okay, we've driven them out. Isn't that terrible?
We have driven them out, honestly.
I wanted to raise
honestly, Valerie, we have driven them out. A colleague of mine who's a very, very successful business has simply upped sticks and moved to Dubai. And he's moved to Dubai because he won't pay anything like the tax there he pays here. He has businesses that create jobs which are going to have to close down. And believe me, it's going to drain this country of energy and resources unless we reform the tax system.
OK, well, this is Kemi Badenoch has said that she finds it an attractive idea, but obviously she is the leader of the Conservative Party, not the Labour Party, so it doesn't look like it will be coming to fruition anytime soon. Just an interesting idea to discuss. Valerie.